Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. All right, welcome back to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. This is the Marvelous One, back at it again with Dell. What's good, man?
What's good? What's good? Ready to talk that sports?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. How you feeling?
Man, what can I say, man? We had a good week this week. Man, I guess we're gonna talk about it, but had a good week this week. I guess gonna warm up back into that Philly game again. I'm ready though. I'm ready for
Is Philly next week?
No,
Philly
2 weeks.
2 weeks from now. Okay.
We got Carolina, so we got the Giants, Carolina, and then Philly.
Oh, okay. So you got some cupcakes,
I got a couple warm up cupcakes. That's
okay.
right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we thought we had a cupcake. We had the Minnesota Vikings. We were like, okay, we got Joshua Dobbs. I mean, dude is on his fourth team in like 2 years or whatever it is, and I don't even know he knows where his locker is. Matter of fact, I think they talked about that on the show, on the broadcast. Dude didn't know where his locker was when he got to the stadium. So I was like, okay, this is a cupcake for us. This is an opportunity to take control of this division, the NFC South, and we should be able to beat the Vikings. Man, why Joshua Dobbs looked like the second coming of Michael Vick?
Man, running all over the place, passing, throwing darts.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it was crazy. I'm just watching. I'm like, we sure he just got here? Like, is this his old coordinator or something? Like, how does he know these plays? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, kudos to the Vikings coaching staff, because obviously they got this kid ready for the game. And I mean, he was sharp. He looked like he had been there for years, like he had been running this offense for years. And here's the truth of the matter, right? The Saints defense is a top 10 defense. It's really good. But the biggest weakness to my team's defense, the Saints defense, running quarterbacks. Running quarterbacks kill us every time. Even quarterbacks that aren't considered running quarterbacks, like the Bears quarterback, like Trevor Lawrence.
Badger last week had like 70-something yards.
Yes, he was killing us. Yeah. It was just like, we have no answer for running quarterbacks. Like, if you Tom Brady and you sit there in the pocket and not going anywhere, we got you. That's our game. We are built to stop sitting duck quarterbacks. But running quarterbacks, we have no answer to them. And it showed in this game, as this guy was able to avoid sacks and use his feet to create openings for his receivers and get big yards for them. So it was a rough game to watch. We were down 24-3 in the first half, and the Vikings had 300 yards of offense. They were on pace for 600 yards of offense. And Derek Carr, yes, the guy that's getting paid $150 million, and that is our quarterback, who's supposed to be the future of the team, had 64 yards at halftime. Yeah, high school numbers. Yes.
Yeah, man.
It was awful to see, man. And Derek Carr got hurt in the game, and on the human side of things, I hope he's okay. He had a concussion, and I think they said a shoulder injury, but that's not a big deal. The shoulder was fine. He should be back. We got a bye, so that's good. He's got a bye, and then he'll likely be back for the next game.
Right. Is it the Saints? Is it the Saints just plays down to their competition?
No, we're just not a good team.
Really?
Yeah, we're just not a good team. The best team we beat this year was the Colts.
Yeah.
That's the best team. All the other teams, bad teams. Panthers.
Wait a minute, y'all beat Tampa Bay, right? Didn't y'all beat Tampa Bay?
No, we got blown out by Tampa.
Oh, damn.
It was 34-9.
Oh,
yeah.
Why don't I remember that game? I don't remember that game at all.
Baker Mayfield was like Tom Brady back there. Yeah. So it's just not a good team. And I think it's mostly offensively. We're not clicking. I don't think Derek Carr is a good fit. And it's just not working. And
very inconsistent.
Very. And it's amazing, because I look at the offense. I don't know if you saw the JT O'Sullivan quarterback video that he put out, where he actually does an analysis of what the quarterback doing with all 21 videos. And
Okay.
he showed how Derek Carr was just missing reads and how he had already predetermined where he was going with the ball. Like once he put his back foot down on his 5-step drop, he was already throwing the check down. And it was like, yo, how did you miss Michael Thomas right in the middle of the field? So I think he's just not a good fit. Jameis Winston is probably a better fit, but he's reckless. He's going to throw us out of games.
He's going to have a lot of turnovers, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Jameis Winston's going to have a turnover.
Yeah. And if you watch this game against the Vikings, like he gave us a spark. He threw 3 plays late. He threw a touchdown, right?
Yep.
Got us in the game, got the 2-point conversion. Then the next drive, he threw.
Really wasn't that the plug?
That was the play was running left, and he threw back right.
Right.
Everybody's saying what a great pass. No, it was actually terrible. The receiver made a great play on the ball. Yeah. But kudos to him for taking a chance because we're down big. So it's like, do it. And he did. Got us back in the game. But of course, with Jameis Winston, with that good, you get the bad. And he gave us 2 interceptions. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. That's right. A good thing for us, we are on a bye. Hopefully, this will give us an opportunity to kind of straighten things out. Because we're still in control of this division. And if we can beat the Falcons, we're really gonna, kind of control it until we play the Bucks, which is the last game of the season. The Bucks beat us already. So if we end with a tie at the end of the season and we lose to them twice, then they're likely to win the division. So it's gonna be a tight race. I think the division is trash, but you know what? As long as we make the playoffs, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Not to kick a division while they down, but that is a pretty bad division. Right. I mean, we look across the board. It just, there's nobody coming out of there. You saying, okay, they're going to win 10 games.
Right. Yeah. We might win this division with 9 games. I mean, that's what I predicted. 9 and 8.
The first few games, I was like, okay, they're going to take Carr a little bit to get used to everybody, know where he needs to go. We got Michael Thomas back now. Blah, blah, blah. But then I heard he got hurt again.
Yeah, he got hurt again. So. Yeah, but my understanding that his injury is not serious. It's a knee injury. The big injury that everyone's concerned about is Lattimore. Lattimore twisted his ankle. It could be the high ankle sprain because he got carted off. So that might be an issue with him. Surprisingly, and I know I harp a lot about Taysom Hill and using him and. I would prefer him as a starting quarterback, but they are totally against that. They want to use him as a tight end and sparingly as a quarterback. But apparently, Saints winning and his production is somehow tied together. Like when we beat the Bears, and it's crazy. The numbers say when he touches the ball or when he gains 40 or 50 yards rushing, the Saints are 12-1.
Yeah, I actually see that.
Yes.
It seems like when he's on the field, there's some kind of extra spark there or something. Right. Maybe because he's taking it, he's running hard. I don't know what it is, but it just seems like that they're more energetic when he's in there.
Because he can create on his own. He can improvise. He can create. The other statistic that they're not telling you is he's also 7-2 when he's the starting quarterback. So it's not a coincidence. It's something about this guy. He's a winner. He can win games for you. And no surprise against the Vikings, he had only one rushing attempt, and he hardly saw the field. He saw the field as a tight end, but he's not a tight end. He's a quarterback. But
why do they do that? Why do they have him one week, and he's a damn near focal point? He's getting plays like in the first quarter, second, third, fourth. He getting plays in all quarters. They're using him. He rushed, like you said, at least about 7-8 times, not just at the goal line. And then next week, you just completely go away from him.
So I think it was the Colts game when they made the determination that like Derek Carr was really struggling in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was the Colts game where they decided, okay, we're going to use Taysom Hill more as the red zone quarterback. And it worked.
He's definitely more of a threat. Yeah, he's more of a threat.
He's more of a threat. He was getting more opportunities in the red zone. He was moving the ball. We were actually more productive with him in the red zone. So the idea was, okay, Derek Carr will go from our 20 to the opposing team 20, and then we'll use Taysom Hill. And that's what they were doing. And so it paid off again against the Bears. That's what they started doing again. And needless to say, in that game against the Bears, Taysom Hill breaks well, he's one of 5 players in the NFL that has 10 touchdowns rushing, 10 touchdowns throwing, 10 touchdowns receiving. So his jersey is now in the Hall of Fame because Frank Gifford was the last person to do this. So yeah, it's crazy. Wow. So yeah, they've decided that's what they're going to do. And well, against the Vikings, well, we never got in the red zone.
Right.
It doesn't work.
That's true. But see, the thing was, he was actually getting y'all there because they were using them before. They was using them between the 20s.
Yes.
And he was actually getting y'all there. Like, sometimes, and the thing is, those legs, when a quarterback, you're so afraid of him running.
Right.
It changes the whole dynamic of the defense
game.
And what defense doing. Because the defense is always looking in the backfield to see what that quarterback doing when they know he can take off running.
Yep. And it changed the type of defense they play. They'll play most zone so they can keep their eyes on the quarterback. They play less. So that's what I always tell people is like, sometimes the quarterback, just the nature of the quarterback will force the defense to play a style of defense that they don't normally play because they have to focus on the quarterback because he's so dynamic. But if you're a quarterback that's sitting in the pocket, well, hell, we'll play man-to-man, turn our backs to him, and run up the field because he's no threat to run. But anyway,
let's talk about some sunshine.
Your Cowboys won.
Yeah, man. We took them down. We gave them the same excuse my language, ass whooping that we gave. I mean, it was 40 nothing last time. Can't get much better than that, but 49-17. I'll take it. It really wasn't that close, to be honest with you. They scored some garbage time touchdowns at the end. But it's what I feel we're supposed to do when you play an inferior team. You should beat them like that, know. So I still give them credit because they didn't just struggle to beat them; they destroyed them.
That's what you're supposed to do,
and that's what you're supposed to do. If you're that much better than that team you're playing, right? You shouldn't be struggling, with the worst team in the league. Well, one of them,
Right.
So they did what they were supposed to do. Dak is, I'm hoping that these first 4 or 5 games was his preseason because that was my whole issue when the season first started off. He's not playing in the preseason. He's not that quarterback where we can say we know who that guy is. He don't need preseason. Mm-hmm. No, Dak needs a preseason. Mm-hmm. He needs to get out there. He needs to get in the flow. Needs to get hit a couple times. He needs to get into the flow. So every year that I can remember, except for like maybe 2 years, he started off very slow. Mm-hmm. He started off very slow. Now, one of them was his rookie year that he started off good, but that's because he played in the preseason. Mm-hmm. He wasn't expected to be the starter,
right?
And then when Tony Romo went down in preseason, he started playing more in the preseason. So by the time the what's-called came, he at least had some reps. But now, since they gave him his contract, they got this thing they don't want to play him in the first in the preseason.
Yeah, what's that about? They're afraid of injury.
They kind of try to put him on the level like where you're saying like he's a Tom Brady, he's a Peyton Manning, he don't need to play because we already know we got in him. I'm like, nah, that's not what preseason is for. It's not about learning. It's about getting in the flow of football because you're only going to get good at football by playing football. You can't do it just watching. You got to be in the middle. You got to be where the live bullets flying. You got to be in there.
Right, right.
And so hopefully he got his preseason out there because he started off so dull. He started off so ineffective. The last 3 games, he's now been picking it up. And I know it coincides with playing bad teams. It's coincides.
Probably playing down to the talent. Yeah.
Playing down to the talent. It's like he does it. If you look at it right now, we crushing all the sub 500 teams and we losing to the over 500 teams. That's what it is right now. It just is what it is. I hate that that's a fact, but that it is what it is. We had 2 times to play a over 500 team, lost both of those, and then lost to a sub 500 team as well in the Arizona Cardinals. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping that this is a change. This is something McCarthy's saying. This is the more aggressive throw downfield. Dak, he's looking downfield. And one thing I noticed he did in this game, and I had an argument with many Cowboy fans about this, is he stepped up in the pocket You know, I'm like, if you're going to be a pocket quarterback, you got to use your pocket. And Dak had this annoying habit of when he gets in trouble, he feels trouble, he likes to bail out the back of the pocket. He'll run to the back and try to run around instead of stepping up and then seeing where the holes are so you can either run or you can see your throwing lanes. But that was his thing. He'll take his little 5 or 6 steps back, sit there, and then as soon as he feel a little pressure, he wants to back further up.
That's worse. That's terrible.
It's worse. It's absolutely worse. And then people like that. One of those last sacks was clearly Dak's fault. And I try to tell people, they're like, "No, Steele was terrible that whole game." I was like, "Yes, he was terrible that game, but that sack was still on Dak. The pressure coming from the outside, when that happens, you're supposed to step up. It helps your lineman block."
That's what I was going to say. A bad quarterback can make your offensive line look bad, because
absolutely, Tom Brady doing it for years.
Tom Brady made his offensive line look great every year. Drew Brees did the same thing too. Always made the right read. Always got the ball out really quick. So when you're holding on that ball, patting on it, hey, the defense eventually is going to get to you. Those linemen can't hold a defensive rush for like 5 seconds. Exactly.
But the thing is, you can extend it. You can get it to 5 seconds if you know how to navigate that pocket and help the lineman out a little bit. If you see the guy rush from the outside, move up, and that'll change the angle that the guy's coming at you so that the offensive lineman can block a little better. And he did that this game. I don't know if it's because he just had more confidence. He felt, the Giants weren't much of a challenge. There wasn't a whole lot of pass rush. But he stepped up in the pocket this game. I hope that the coaches coached him to do that. I really hope that's what the case is. But it just seemed like when he get in these big games, he's not consistent with that. He's just not consistent with it. But I'm hoping that's the case. I'm still a little disappointed in our running game. I know we crushed him. But Tony Pollard was supposed to be our feature back this year, and he did not look like a feature back. As many points as we scored and as productive we were everywhere else. I mean, Cook had 100 yards. CD had 100 yards. I think both of them had 150 yards, matter of fact.
Cook had 173 yards.
He had 173. CD Lamb, who, by the way, just broke an NFL record. I don't know if you caught that.
No.
He's the only player in NFL history. I really couldn't believe this, but he's the only player in NFL history with 10 receptions and 150 yards in 3 consecutive games. That's the first time that's ever happened.
Wow.
And he just did that. After we play these tomato cans coming up, we do have that little gauntlet of games coming after that.
Oh, let's do a recap real quick. Last week I went 7-7. I got some games that screwed me over. We'll get into it. Damn Denver beating the Bills. Come on, man. What's going on out here?
Man, that lost me my pool, my NFL pool.
Is that right?
That game lost me my pool. I'm like, that's the last game I was worried about.
I had a feeling about that.
About that game.
I had a feeling about that. I think Sean Payton is coming into his own. I think he's figuring out what players he can trust. Like it's not always about, high rated players or high draft players. It's about the players that fit in your system that trust what they're doing. And that's what he's getting out of the players. He got rid of a lot of like highly rated players. Let's start off with the first game. That was the Thursday night game. Yeah, the Cowboys, the Bears at home against the Panthers. Yeah,
what a sneak.
Yeah, that was a terrible game. I mean, I know the Bears got the win 60-13, and I picked the Bears. But, that was not a fun game to watch. Carolina.
It was not at all.
Carolina, I'm like, the Panthers. The funny thing about this game, by the Bears beating the Panthers, the Bears are setting themselves up to get the number 1 overall pick from the Panthers. Because remember, they traded their pick for them to get Bryce Young. So it was very important for the Bears to beat them. So
yeah, right now they have the second and third overall picks.
yes,
Which is crazy.
This is crazy. So that was a great trade by the Bears, but they still need to figure out the quarterback situation. All right. We have the Patriots at home against the Colts. I went with the Colts, and I don't know what the hell Bill Belichick is doing with the Patriots. Did you see he benched Mac Jones on the last drive of the game? It's like, really?
Yes. Put Zappy in. And I will admit that interception by Mac Jones was terrible. It was a terrible interception. But my whole thing is, okay, he is not Tom Brady. Get that boy some talent. Put some actually talented receivers and tight ends around him so you can really see what you got. Because, I mean, he showed flashes just like against the Bills, where I don't know how impressive that is now. Bills losing at home with Denver. But he came down, drove the team down the field for the score.
Right.
And almost did it against Philly.
Yeah.
Early in the year.
Yeah.
So he's shown flashes here and there, and even against Washington. He drove the team down to get the lead. Now your Belichick defense got to hold Washington, and they couldn't hold them. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you got to start questioning now whether or not Belichick in this relationship with Mac Jones, if it's too gone now, because this is not the first time he's benched him. He benched him last year.
I'm about to say.
So I wouldn't be surprised the kid's confidence is gone. Next, we had the Bengals at home against the Texans. And look, dude, I am a fan of the Texans. I like this CJ Stroud kid. I picked the Texans to win this game, and they did.
I had the Bengals, but I mean, I just thought the better quarterback would win. But man, this dude, he's finding ways to win, and he looks so poised. And I'm just so shocked because I didn't even like him coming out of Ohio State.
Really?
I didn't like him at Ohio State. No, I thought he was way overrated. I was like, okay, he got some kind of gaudy numbers, but I really don't like this kid that much. And he's actually playing up to what his potential is supposed to be right now. I mean, he's not looking like a rookie.
No, not at all. He's decisive.
He's poised.
He anticipates well.
And decisive. He ain't holding on to that ball like Bryce Young do. He's throwing it. As soon as he get back, boom, ball gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. It is gone.
And that's what your quarterback should do.
Average receivers look great.
Yep.
They weren't great before. Now they're great.
Yeah, all of a sudden they household names. Yeah.
It gotta be the quarterback.
Next, we had the Minnesota Vikings at home against the Saints. Yeah, we already talked about this.
Man. Whoa.
Don't look at the score. Don't let the score fool you. 27-19. This game was not close. This game was a 24-3 game at halftime.
Joshua Dobbs came in and handled business. I mean, he was throwing darts to Hawkinson. He was running. He was making plays when the plays weren't there. That one when he ran around and he did a circle in the pocket and then ran around for the touchdown. I was like, he looks like a legit quarterback. I mean, he's looking legit.
If I'm the Minnesota Vikings, I might start considering having him to replace Kirk Cousins, because I think this is the last year of Kirk Cousins' deal. So
and guess what? You ain't got to pay him $40 million.
Exactly. This might be your opportunity. You may have found your guy. I mean, well, of course, it depends on how he finishes out the season. But after these two games, he's shown you a lot. And the Vikings are on a nice little winning streak here, man. They're back in the hunt of things. I mean, this is a team that started out 0-3, 1-4.
I think they started off 0-2 for sure, but I can't remember after that exactly. I think it went 0-2 and then 1-1.
Yep.
Then lost one. Yeah, I think it was 1-3.
Yeah, they were like 1-3. Yeah, and so they've been making a clear comeback. All right. Next we had the Steelers at home against the Packers. The Steelers won 23-19. Steelers.
Love is another quarterback I did not believe in. I put him in that same category with I can't even remember the quarterback, the one that Dallas picked up from San Francisco.
Trey Lance. Yes, that's right. That's right. People calling for him to replace Dak is like, come on, stop it.
It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
To me, these quarterbacks, they show you who they are. Trey Lance showed you who he was when he was at San Francisco. He got his opportunities to start, and he didn't look good. Jimmy G came in, and that offense started to floor. Brock Purdy came in, then the offense started to work again. So obviously, that kid is just he's not ready for the NFL. He never was, and that's just how it is with some of these quarterbacks.
Yeah, he was one of those, and I believe Love was too. One of those quarterbacks that you didn't really think about like 2 months before the draft, and then for some reason when you got close to the draft, his name just started going up and up and up and up. Right. And he just came out of nowhere. And all of a sudden he's a top 5 pick.
Right. I know, it is crazy. Yeah.
And then you go back and look at his stats, you're like, why?
Why? Exactly. It's just like they just started to talk him up.
Not that great.
Right. Like who's the scout that was like selling this thing? I mean, he must have been a cousin of Jordan Love or Trey Lance.
Not only an early pick, but you trade up to get him.
Yeah, that was crazy. All right, next we had the Bucks at home against the Titans. I was on this Will Levis train, but he's kind of fade now. The Bucks won this game 20-6. Baker Mayfield threw for 278. So should have known.
Yeah, he's I kind of figured that would be around what it was. It was, you can't expect all the rookie quarterbacks to play like Stroud playing
right. He started out okay,
like the rookie.
Yeah, he played
he started out pretty decent.
Yeah, but now there's a lot of tape on him. They know his tendencies, and so the Bucks were able to shut him down. They held the Titans to 6 points, and the game that surprised me. The Jaguars at home against the 49ers. I thought the 49ers skid was going to continue. I've been a big fan of the 49ers. I like Kyle Shanahan, and I was just like, well, obviously this team is missing something. But, man, they rolled the Jags. I mean, 34-3. It's like they're back in form. Yeah, man.
I had the 49ers this week winning that game, but not like this. Not like the way they did.
Right.
I mean, they were getting 2 key pieces back in Williams and Debo.
Yep.
They were coming back this week. And another thing, I just couldn't see them having a 4-game slide.
I know, but it was just like I couldn't see it either, but I was looking at the Jags playing at home. I was like, okay, the 49ers are taking that trip from the West Coast to the East Coast. That should be hard on them. And they're already on a losing streak. They should lose to the Jags, but 49ers got the win, man. All right, we had the Ravens at home against the Browns. At first, it looked like the Ravens were going to run away with this game. I was just like, yo.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It was like,
I thought my pick was dead.
Yeah, I thought my pick was good, too. I stopped following it. And the Browns came back.
I actually picked the Browns.
You did?
I picked the Browns in this game because I just know the history of these two playing each other.
Right.
It's always either a tough game or a high-scoring game.
Right.
They've had a lot of surprise, high-scoring matchups between these two teams, and I felt like this might be one of those. But I thought, like you said early on, I thought the Ravens was about to run absolutely away with it.
I thought so, too. Yeah.
It was looking so bad. I mean, he started off with a pick 6. Watson. Early in the game had that pick 6, and I was like, it was one of them ugly pick 6 too. Got back the ball up, catch it, running back. I was like, oh no.
Well, but that's how the Browns got back into the game with Lamar Jackson throwing a pick 6. Yeah, I think he got hit or something like that. The ball got tipped. And the Browns took it back. So that Browns defense is making waves for their offense, man, for this team. So Browns got the win on this one. I went with the Ravens, but Browns won it.
Yeah, man. And Watson actually gave me a little flash of what he used to be. Like, maybe he looked like he was worth that $230 million.
I don't know about that, but he gave a much better performance than he's been in the past.
Second half.
Second half, right.
First half, he looked pretty terrible, but second half, he was running when he needed to. He got hurt, stuck it out, I thought
it was done. Yeah.
And still kept running, he still kept running on that thing, so and made all the plays when he needed to make them. He would start throwing darts. So, I'll give him his thing. And even when they got down there and tried to, kick the extra point to tie it, but missed it and was down, I was like, oh, okay. All right, you did all that, now you're going to lose. No, the defense stop him, get the ball back there, and Watson take him down to get a field goal.
Yeah, man. I'm a fan of the Browns. I think the Browns are for real. It took some convincing. I wasn't convinced earlier this season, but yeah, I think the Browns are for real. I mean, this division is very competitive with the Browns, Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers.
It's the most competitive division in the league by far.
Yep. All right, next slide. We got the Cardinals at home against the Falcons. I picked the Falcons, and the Cardinals won this game. If I'd have known, I didn't know Kyler Murray was going to play in this game.
Yeah, we'll see you was early in the week when you make your picks.
You're right.
So, by the time that time came, it was becoming more and more evident that he was going to play. And they didn't really let that cat out the bag till about Thursday.
Yeah, I know. Which was smart because that didn't allow the Falcons to prepare for him.
Absolutely.
And yeah, they got the win on this, man. All right, next slide. We had the Chargers at home against the Lions. Lions won this game 41-38 in a shootout with the Chargers. Yeah, I went with the Lions on it. Yeah, that was a good game. So
I actually had the Chargers on that one. I just thought at home, they had the comfort at home. They'll be able to squeak one out, but it just didn't work out over there.
Dude,
Lions offense was just too good.
I just don't trust the Chargers. I don't trust them. The
coaching is terrible.
Coaching, situational football is just bad with the Chargers. So, I mean, you got a top talent quarterback like they have with Justin Herbert, and you struggling to stay above 500. That's coaching.
Yeah. You got offensive key, like key players. You got Keenan Allen, who's having a career year. Eckler. Yeah. You got the quarterback, and then you got a pretty decent supporting cast at receiver too, and Guyton and Johnston.
Yeah,
that guy that picked up from TCU. Yeah, so they have some members.
They got talent. They got the pieces to be great.
Yeah, but then the coaching is just terrible. On top of that, that makes you just wonder, what are you doing?
All right, next slide. We had the Cowboys at home against the Giants. I mean, really, do we need to talk about this game? I mean.
Not a whole lot.
I mean, y'all scored 100 points in 2 games against the Giants to their 20 or whatever it was, or 17 total.
17. Yeah, I think the total ended up being 89-17 in 2 games.
That
is crazy.
That's insane.
Even repeat that number just sounds nuts.
I know, right?
Against any team.
All right. Next, we had the Seahawks at home against the Commanders. This was actually a good game. I watched this, and
been a good game.
Yeah, the Commanders got the late score to tie the game. I was screaming, "Go for 2, go for the win!" But there still was a lot of time in the game. So I think they made it by kicking the field goal.
Yeah, I thought they would go for 2 as well, because they went through that same thing when they played Philly, and they came down, they scored the game, tied the game up. And then they had a chance to go for the win, and they didn't do it.
Right.
So I thought, and then end up losing in overtime. So I thought they'd do the same thing here. It's like,
me too.
Okay, we're not the same thing, but they'll be like, okay, let's win this game.
Right. I was thinking that too, but I think they made the right decision, because it was like a little over a minute left, which was enough time for Geno Smith to get the Seahawks in field goal range to win the game. So you still got to play defense and stop. All right. Next we had the Raiders at home against the Jets. I went with the Raiders. I feel real good about the quarterback change that they made and the coaching change the Raiders made. They seem to be a much better football team now, and they won this game over the Jets 16-12.
Yeah, I did too. It was one of those snooze fest games as well.
Yeah,
but I did choose the Raiders because they were at home. Thinking, okay, well, they got they're at home. Jets got to come cross country. Jets are not that great offensively.
No.
They're very limited offensively. This is a game that the Raiders, and plus the Raiders playing for their new coach.
Here's the Monday night game, which was a surprise to me. The Bills versus the Bills at home against the Broncos, and the Broncos pulled off the win. They had a big lead on them too, and they pulled off the win 24-22.
Yes. I mean, do you call that Russ cooking? I mean, was he cooking?
I don't think so.
He made one play that was incredible. That throw, I don't know if I say the catch was better than the throw or the throw was better than catch.
I think I got to give it to the throw. To drop it in that corner of the end zone to give your receiver a chance. That was
only way he could catch it.
Only way he could catch it, and hustling, running to your left throwing to your left. That's
Yes.
hard to do. So that was a really good throw by Russell Wilson, but I wouldn't say he was cooking. He threw for less than 200 yards. So
Well, yeah, that's true. That is
ain't
true.
cooking. Yeah. I mean,
That is true.
that's not cooking. I mean, that's microwaving your food.
Right, right.
That ain't the same. That's a TV dinner.
That's what I'm about to say. That's a TV dinner. That's a hungry man.
So, all right, man. Let's go and make our picks for week 11.
Yes,
Get
sir.
this going. All right. So tomorrow night's game, the Thursday night game, we got the Ravens at home. The 73
finally
at home
good
against the
prime
Bengals.
time game.
No, fine. I'm sure Amazon is like, finally, thank you, NFL.
Right. Like, this is what I paid $2 billion for.
Exactly. So the Ravens are 3.5-point home favorites. It seems like every time I pick the Ravens, they lose. But I'm going with the Ravens here. I'm going with the Ravens. I think the Ravens
it is so tough. This is a tough game. Because when they look, now I understand they destroyed Seattle, but I'm really not a Seattle believer. I told you, Geno with Geno. He would do it. He would do it every time. And I still don't believe in him. I don't believe his comeback. So when we beat them, I was like, yeah, okay,
right.
But this is going to be a legit team that they're playing. This is a divisional game.
Yep.
They know each other. The teams know each other. And if I remember correctly, I think that they're kind of even on the wins the last like 6 games or so.
Yeah.
So I'm actually going to go with the Bengals coming in and getting the Ravens on here's a short week. I'm flipping. I'm going with the Ravens. It's a short week, only because it's a short week, and they get to be at home.
Get to be at home. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It's a short week, and they get to be at home. I think it's going to be hard for the Bengals to come in and get this win. I mean, I usually go with good teams that lost the week prior, but when they're at home. But yeah, I can't see the Ravens losing 2 straight at home because this will be the second game at home. So I got the Ravens. Yeah.
Absolutely. And the Cincinnati Bengals coming with T. Higgins hurt. So
that's a big loss for him. Yeah,
that's a big loss.
That's a big loss if he can't play. So all right. So next we have the Browns at home against the Steelers. This is all the Sunday games. The Browns are 3.5-point home favorites. Now, I've been picking against the Browns the past 3-4 weeks. And look, I am convinced. The Browns have a good team. They're playing some good football, even though Deshaun Watson probably not, he's not putting up like numbers that his contract says he should. But he's a good compliment to that defense. The defense has been playing well, a good compliment to the offense. They're just playing well as a team. I like the Steelers, but I'm going to go with the Browns because the Browns have proven me wrong. I'm going with the Browns. Right. Who you got?
I'm going with the Browns as well. Steelers offense is just not good enough. Their offense is so slow, so it don't look like they can put up points. And then if you put it against that good Cleveland defense, I mean, I wasn't really a big Cleveland defense believer early in the season, but now I'm starting to see that defense is for real.
Yeah.
They clinched down on the Ravens when they needed to, made the plays when they needed to, got that pick 6. So yeah, I think that they're going to end up beating Pittsburgh pretty good.
You think they're going to beat them pretty good? I think it's going to be a close game. I think because it'll be
like 10 or more points.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, I think the Steelers they still got a really good defense. I think it's going to be a close game. I even thought about picking the Steelers, but having the Browns at home, they seem to be they got something going. They're on a good winning streak, and but I like Jalen Warren, the running back with the Steelers, a little short, quick running back that they got. Yeah. He's been putting up some good numbers for them. Got him in my fantasy football league. That's a steal. But yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be a good game. All right. Next, we have the Lions at home against the Bears. Lions are 9.5-point home favorites. Yeah, I'm going with the Lions. The Bears.
Of course, we're going with the Lions. Bears don't have anything. I don't even know if Justin's coming back for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Lions all the way on that.
Yeah, Lions easily. The Bears are just
they're awful.
Yeah, they're terrible. All right. Next, we have the Packers at home against the Chargers. The Chargers are 3-point road favorites here.
Mhm.
Yeah, as I said earlier, I don't believe in Justin Love. No love for Love. I'm going with the Chargers. Even though I don't trust the Chargers, I think they're better than the Packers. They should be able to beat the Packers.
They
So,
are definitely indeed a better team than the Packers. I mean, Steelers were trying to give Packers that game, and they just didn't want it.
yeah,
They did
right.
not want
They
it,
didn't.
you know.
Yeah, the Steelers worked really hard to give them that game, but yeah, Packers they're not trying to win.
Nah, man.
All right,
Definitely
next we have the Dolphins at home against the Raiders. The Dolphins are 12-point home favorites. And honestly, I thought about picking the Raiders on this. I like what the Raiders have done, the changes that they've made. But the Dolphins are really good about beating up on average teams. Good teams, not so much. Average and below average teams, oh, they're going to dog them. They might drop 50. Yeah. They might drop 50, 60 points on them just because they're average. But if it was the Eagles or somebody, no.
Yeah, I think the Dolphins need a little get back.
Yep.
And this is the perfect team for them to get that get back on. The Raiders have looked decent in the last couple of weeks, but I mean, who are they playing?
Right. I mean, that's true. That's true.
They were playing against other subpar teams.
Yeah,
and
they've been playing against some trash.
Even though Dolphins got bumped down some levels because every time they bumped it, just like the Cowboys, they bumped against an over 500 team to get dogged. This is not one of those games, I don't think. And I think Tyreek Hill probably have like 175 and a touchdown.
Yeah, I think so too. He's going to show out here. I'm curious to see what end zone celebration they got this time.
Right.
The one that they did when they did the stump the yard celebration in the end zone. Oh my God! Did you see that? Oh
no.
So you know the scene in Stump the Yard at the end when they're in the dance competition, and Columbus Short does the dance that Chris Brown, with
the one arm on the
one arm dance. Yo, they did that in the end zone.
Really?
Yes. When you get a chance, search it up on YouTube. They huddle up, they jump up and down just like in the movie, and then they push Tyreek Hill, and he slides on the ground. And I mean, my man is on point. He does it exactly how
he did the move.
Yes.
Oh man, I gotta see this.
You gotta see it. It was dope. I was like, yo, keep those end zone dances going, Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, keep it going, yo. I know you're listening. Keep it going, yo. Come up with something else, man. Give me another dance move.
Right.
All right. Next, we have the Commanders at home against the Giants. The Commanders are 9.5-point favorites. I think it should be bigger. I'm going with the Commanders because the Giants are terrible. If they're going out there with DeVito at quarterback, because DeVito had like 86 yards passing against the Cowboys. When you're down that big, you should have like 300 yards passing because you're trying to get back in the game. The defense is playing prevent.
Now, just like we usually own the Giants, and that the one we just beat them was the 12th straight game we beat them.
Wow.
They kind of usually own the Commanders.
Really?
Yes, they do. They beat them a lot. They just beat them with Tyrod Taylor the last time they played.
But with DeVito,
but DeVito is DeVito, and DeVito did not look good.
No, I bet
at all. Yeah, I can't go.
You sure you don't want to go with the Giants, man? I mean, you said the Giants on them. Go with the Giants, man.
On the road. No, it's double whammy on the road and the
I was gonna say if you pick the Giants, I was gonna put a clown face next to this.
Yeah, you got to put a clown. I would beg you to put a clown.
All right, next we got the cupcake game of the week. We got the Panthers at home against the Cowboys. The Cowboys are 10.5-point favorites. It should be more. It should be 20.5-point favorites. The Panthers are not good. I'm going with the Cowboys. Dale, I don't need you to tell me who you're going with.
Yeah, I mean, if y'all want to, y'all can boost that up to 20.
Yes.
Because, this is not going to be pretty.
It's going to be
for a quarterback to like to hold on to the ball. It's not pretty.
And when I tell you, this dude, Bryce Young, looks so tiny out on the field, man.
Yeah. I mean, he's probably barely 200 pounds if he's 200.
Yeah. Well, I don't even know if he's 5'9", to be honest with you. He looks tiny. So, it should be a easy win for the Cowboys. It'd be surprised if the Panthers are within 10 points in this game.
Absolutely.
All right, Jags at home against the Titans. The Jags are 6.5-point favorites. Jags are a good team, and I can't see a good team losing 2 straight games at home. Yeah, they're going to beat the Titans here. I got the Jags.
I agree. Jaguars all the way. They got embarrassed at home. Not just beat, but
Yeah,
they got
Barry.
embarrassed.
Right.
Even though it was San Fran, that's embarrassing. So
Yeah.
they got to take it back out on the Titans. That's a team they can do it on. Titans have a bad defensive backfield. I think Trevor Lawrence going to make up for that game.
Yeah, I think so too. I that's one of my things when I make my picks. If it's a good team that got blown out the week before and they come back home, I usually go with that good team. And I think the Jags are a good team and they're going to make up for that loss.
That makes sense.
So we got the Texans at home against the Cardinals. Texans are 4-point home favorites, but I honestly thought about going with the Cardinals. I like Kyler Murray. I like the fact that he makes things happen. He can improvise.
They are a different team with him there for
Yes.
sure. I mean, this guy McBride, the tight end they got there to replace Zach Ertz, is becoming a little star.
Yeah.
They got Hollywood there.
Yep.
Hollywood Brown still there. They got the Rondell Moore. They got some talent that they can move the ball on.
So you going with the Cardinals?
I'm not going with the Cardinals. I'm going with the Cardinals. They're on the road. Got this Cowboys second game. And Texas defense actually been playing a little bit better as well.
Yes, they have.
Better as well, but I just like I'm seeing CJ Stroud. He got to do bad. He got to play like a rookie for me to think he's gonna do rookie things.
Right.
Like he did against Carolina, But yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas, and mostly because they're at home, and CJ Stroud playing so hot right now.
Yeah, same here. I'm going with the Texans. I like the Texans. I've been on the bandwagon calling out, how good this Texans team is and how smart that GM and the coaching staff did when they made this draft for CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. I mean, they got the cornerstones of their team, the quarterback on the offense and the quarterback on the defense.
That's
smart
right.
move by the Texans. And hell, they might make the playoffs this year. So
keep an eye
on the Texans.
No doubt.
All right. Next, we got the 49ers at home against the Bucks. The 49ers are 11.5-point home favorites. Yeah, that's easy. I'm going with the 49ers. Who you got there?
Definitely the 49ers. I don't know if Bucks will score more than 10 points in that game.
Right. I doubt it too. All right.
Yeah.
We got the Bills at home against the Jets. The Bills are 7-point home favorites. Once again, good team that lost at home, was embarrassed by the Broncos. I can't see them losing 2 straight at home, and especially losing to the Jets. I'm going with the Bills here. Who you got, Dale?
I mean, I like your logic with the good teams at home. I'm going to have to remember that when I'm placing my bets. But I'm not sure if the Bills are a good team. I'm not sure if they're a good team, man. It's just disappointment after disappointment. I think they had 2 when they played Miami. Okay, but besides that game, they've been disappointed even in their wins. I mean, they beat the Giants.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
14-9.
Yeah.
14-9.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was not good. And the Giants was begging them to crush them that game.
Yeah.
But they just couldn't do it. They just weren't good enough. And then they just lost to Denver at home.
Yeah.
So
you going with the Jets?
If I had to take the points, I'd take the Jets at the points. And the Jets beat them before.
I know. That's why I can't see them losing twice to the Jets in the season.
But since they beat them already, I can see the split. That was in New York. This one is in Buffalo. I'm going to squeak it out with the Buffalo, but I'm taking them 7 points, though.
I thought you was going with the Jets, Zach Wilson.
Nah, man. I just heard that 7 points and decided juicy. I said I want the 7 points, but I can't take them.
Yeah, I agree. I don't see it going being 7 points, but yeah, I'm going with the Bills. I can't see them losing 2 straight at home. All right.
Yeah.
Next, we got the Seahawks. We actually have the Rams at home against the Seahawks. And Seahawks are 1-point home, 1-point road favorites. Now, for me, it's a question of whether or not Stafford is playing. So I don't know if Stafford is playing. If Stafford was playing, if I had definitive information that told me that he was playing, I would go with the Rams here. But since that's in question, I'm going with the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks winning this game on the road against the Rams. Who you got?
Well, did Stafford get hurt the last game? The last game they played, did he get hurt again? Because he came back, right? Before the bye. I thought he came back before the bye.
Did he come back before the bye? I wasn't sure about that.
I thought so, but I could be wrong. But I thought he came back. And if that's the case and he's playing, which I think he is playing, I'm gonna go with the Rams.
You're gonna go with the Rams?
He came back before the bye. I'm going with the Rams at home against Seattle. Seattle barely beat the Commanders at home. Struggling with that team at home. You got all the advantages. It even rained for you.
Right.
Beat the Commanders.
Well, week nine against the Packers, the Rams lost 20-3, and Britt Rippin played in that game.
Okay, that was the last game. Week 9.
Yeah.
Okay. No, yeah. I'm switching that there.
I shouldn't have said anything.
I'm with Seattle. Yeah, I'm with Seattle on that one.
No.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said anything, yo.
I cannot believe in Brett Rippin, but hey, if I knew that what's called playing, I would flip that in a heartbeat.
Me too. I will go with the Rams if I knew if Stafford was playing. I don't know if he's playing. So I hadn't really heard anything. I'm gonna have to look into it. But if Stafford is playing, then I'm going with the Rams. So all right.
Absolutely.
All right. Sunday night game, Broncos at home against the Vikings. Man, Broncos are 2.5 point home favorites. I was seriously thinking about Joshua Dobbs, but I think the Broncos got something going on here. I think Sean Payton, I believe in Sean Payton, right? He was my coach with the Saints. I wish he would have stayed. I think he left because the Saints organization and him just didn't agree, mainly on quarterbacks. I didn't think he wanted Jameis Winston as his quarterback.
Right.
And hell, now we're finding out the new coach doesn't want him either because he brings in Derek Carr. So I think that's why Sean Payton left. But I think he has his formula for winning. He's implemented regardless of who the players is. If it's players that were high draft picks, he doesn't care. He's gonna play with his guys, and I think they're gonna beat the Vikings. I think the Vikings Cinderella story kind of comes to an end at least this week. Who you got?
I'm thinking I want Joshua Dobbs. I think he's kind of ignorant to this situation. He doesn't understand the situation here. Cardinals was up there trying to tank, and he goes and beat the Cowboys, almost beat the Washington Redskins. The Commanders. Yep. Almost beat them. Had another couple games that were close. They were like, nah, man, you trying to win too much.
Right. Yes. I said the same thing. I said, man, what
you are out of here.
Yeah, you out of here. What are you doing? You're not trying to win.
I didn't tell you to win. I ain't tell you to almost win. What it beating the Giants like 20-0 at halftime or something like that before they came back, before the call came down and told them, hey, man, I told you to tank.
Right. What are you doing?
Man, damn.
You ain't supposed to win. You're supposed to play like you played at Tennessee. What's the problem?
Right. Yeah. And I think the same thing with Joshua Dobbs and the Vikings. He ain't supposed to know the playbook and what the routes are and all that stuff. And for some reason, he just making things happen, man. He just making it happen. And with his legs, it's going to cause a problem with the Broncos because I like a quarterback that if he's going to run, he go ahead and commit to the run.
Mm-hmm.
If he's going to run, he ain't going to be. See, the thing with Dak, that's Dak's problem. He can run, but he tiptoes. He doesn't want to commit. Now, the last couple games, he's been doing that. He's been taking off and running.
Mm-hmm.
But Joshua Dobbs, when he's ready to commit, he's gone. You ain't catching him from behind either. He gone.
Right.
So I'm going to go with the upset, pick Joshua Dobbs and the Vikings to do that thing. And
all right.
Broncos got to do bad eventually.
I think this is the first pick that we disagreed on. Every other pick we agreed on. All right. All right. Lastly, we got the Monday night game, the big one. We got the Chiefs at home against the Eagles. The Chiefs are 3-point home favorites. So this was a tough one for me. I think I love Patrick Mahomes, but I think his supporting cast outside of Kelsey is just not good. And I think the Eagles can now I want to say shut down, but slow down Kelsey and give him problems. And I think the Eagles are going to win this game. I got the Eagles winning with the upset over the Chiefs, who are 3-point home favorites. Who you got?
Man. Well, we talked about this game like early in the season, and I told y'all about this game, about them playing and them coming off of the bye week. And I think I'm gonna stay with where I was at, even though because both teams are kind of like downgraded a little bit offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Hurts is still, I don't know how banged up that knee is, really.
Mm-hmm.
And Chiefs are at home. It's that late time of year. It's going to probably be cold, more than likely.
Yep.
It's going to be real cold. And Mahomes is coming off of a bye week where they kind of know that they were slacking on offense. So I think that Andy Reid and them going to come back with something a little bit better. And they're going to squeak out one like they did in the Super Bowl. So
you got the Chiefs winning.
I got the Chiefs winning. Yeah, squeaking out one.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see. Let's go and wrap this thing up, man. Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.
Like and subscribe. Thank you, my man.
Yes, sir.